Voila.
I like the background there, man. You're blocking it now. It was there good before you sat down.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. No, it's like woods right there.
I
So,
miss the Grove. Miss the Grove. Living
yeah.
in
It's,
suburbia here.
yeah. Well, it's a trade off. I mean, it's like you don't know where you're headed when you're 22. But,
Yeah.
I spent a lot of time single. So I had a real premeditated plan. It was like, go out and have as much fun as possible so that when you're older, you won't be sitting there acting like a jerk off, hitting on like 25-year-old secretaries or whatever. When I bartended in college, I would see that all the time. I would see like, these like losers in tracksuits. Let's just say that showing up. This is '80s, by the way, and showing up and hitting on girls at the bar at Bennigan's, and I just thought that was so friggin' lame.
Oh,
So I was like, me and my buddy, we had this thing where we were like, the visualization metaphor is jumping up, haloing out of a plane at like 25,000 feet, hurtling toward the ground, pulling the ripcord at like, you couldn't pull it at 25 feet, but pulling it really close.
yeah.
And then landing in a beautiful bed, kitted out in Laura Ashley furnishings with your bride to be waiting for you, that kind of thing. And then you just settle into like settled down status. But you never sit there going, oh, I should have done this, I should have done that, because you did so much of everything that you're just sick of it. You want to just be calm. So
absolutely,
that's the trade-off. So everything's got its pluses and minuses. I liked it then, the fun, but shit, I can't do it now. So what else you got?
Yeah, exactly. No, I definitely don't have that energy anymore, but I am looking forward to, when the kids go off to college, we're hitting the road. So, and that's what we love doing, is traveling. So we're going to probably just live the nomad life until we drop dead. So
nothing wrong with that. What are you guys going to get, a big sailboat and sail around, or are you going to get an RV and drive around, or?
No, we may do the RV thing in North, in this continent, and travel a bit. We'll definitely be doing all over Europe and Asia, and probably extended periods. The goal is like in Europe and Asia just to, do Airbnb for 2 months in a place and go to the next place in 2 months and go to the next place. We like cruises, so we may do like, maybe 1 year we do the around the world cruise. They have them now where they stay in each place a few days, so you get to kind of see everything, and then you can go back and hit the ones you like later, I guess. That kind of shit.
People that actually live on those cruise ships year round.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. They have.
Maybe it costs like $100,000 a year or something, and you can live on like, year round on cruise ships if you want.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. And they have them now where they go and stay for a couple of days in each place. I don't want the kind where you go and like you're in and out the same day. You know what I mean? You want to be able to see the place you're going to go to. So they have that now. It's like, I think the Royal Caribbean's like 150 grand, something like that. So
yeah,
and that, gives you a taste of every place. And then you can say, okay, I want to go back and stay there for 2 months, So anyway, who knows? But we're definitely going to travel.
What's your youngest? What grade your youngest in?
8th.
You got 4 more years. Okay.
4 years.
All right, so 4 more years to hit that unicorn.
Sadly,
article yesterday. Yeah.
Well, dude, no. When you do the math, I can live cheaper on the road than I can here.
No,
much cheaper.
I spent a lot of time in Southeast Asia, and like Thailand, Singapore, places like that, and. Obviously Singapore's not cheap, but
no,
the other ones, man, dude, I was living on an island. Well, everybody probably knows this island, Koh Samui, in South China Sea, or the Gulf of Siam, actually, I think. And, I was paying, I think I was in an air-conditioned bungalow, okay, with bathrooms and stuff, but friends of mine stayed in non-AC and in group ones. And it gets down to like, I think I was doing like 1 4-hour massage a day, drinking margaritas every night at happy hour, eating all my food there. And and have my own bungalow with a steady buffet of British Airways flight stewardesses coming through there. I think it was about $2,000 for the whole month or something like that. It was
I totally believe
ridiculous.
it. Yeah.
That's a 4-hour spa session every day. All
That's
your food and
crazy.
drink and lodging. But if you take it cheaper, literally you can go over to Koh Phangan, which is where they have all the half moon parties. It's a little more younger scene. Lots of crazy day glow neon stuff going on over there under the full moon, if you know what I mean. And but there, it's like $2-3 a day to live in like a bungalow with a hammock. And it's food's everywhere. You can literally do those places. I saw retirees there living for like again, this is 20 years ago, but I'm sure it's not that much more. $150 for a month, food, lodging, everything.
Yeah.
The fact that we do stuff like this, we could be sitting everywhere. We don't have to be sitting in like $1 million houses. Point. Yeah.
Well, and that's the thing. My kids both initially agreed, let me take a year off school and do it. And then when it came down to it, neither of them wants to leave their friends in school. So, it's like, whatever. They wouldn't take it a year. They would have done virtual school. But, it was like, and we were planning it. They changed their minds during the course of COVID. We were planning it, the year after COVID started. And then it was like, okay, well, you can't fucking travel anyway. So anyway, but yeah, that is absolutely the ironclad. This is what we're going to do thing. So that's the goal.
A lot of that's on my agenda too. I'm
good.
Getting into it earlier though, because mine's the senior.
Yeah. Yours will be gone. Yeah.
So what you're going to see here is a cartoon avatar of me and my robot voice talking all the time.
It's good.
This is Joe.
We'll do the Joe AI. Joe AI.
I'm here. It's really me. I'm honestly.
Bitcoin and Ether sticking around where they were, 2019, up and down, chop, sideways. Not much news there.
Yeah, I didn't see much. I mean, I was
Fear is at 20 though.
Yeah, I did see when you pulled that chart up. That was what I was kind of going, oh wow, I didn't see that before. So,
it's a little ugly.
But I didn't. I looked. Nikkei futures are off. Which would be like kind of, but not much. 0.17% right now. I don't know what is going on over in the S&P. Looks like I'm just getting through these windows real quick.
What's the symbol for SPX?
Yeah, I believe that's the one. I mean, I also got, those are off like NASDAQ's off 2 points. I mean, 2%. The other ones are off like S&P 500's below 1%. Yeah, so I mean, look, you pull up the chart on that and you look at the chart on these, they just look like orderly selling going from January to now. It's no real big dramatic thing. Now, again, I think this is a lot about dollar strength and interest rates attracting capital, but it doesn't look as chaotic to me as I might have expected.
Oh, yeah.
When you look at like these March 2020 numbers and you're like, holy shit, the Dow got down to 9,000, or 9,133. It's at like what, 16 or something right now.
Right.
I was thinking about Great Recession numbers when I think the Dow got down to 6. Sometimes I confuse it with the Bitcoin crash of Thanksgiving 2018. But it's like there's 3s and 6s everywhere. I'm like, I had 3, 6, and 9s on these bottoms. But I don't know. It is what it is. We just got to navigate it. There's plenty of trading opportunities. There's plenty of accumulation opportunities. There's a bunch of new tech coming. It's just keep your head down and keep executing. It's sort of my read right now.
What are we down off the high right now? Well, our peak was 20.96%, 18% currently, and February COVID dump was 24%. So it looks like we're trying to bounce from that. If you look at if you zoom out and do this monthly.
Yeah, I think that, look, I don't think you're going to have any big, bold moves between now and the elections, U.S. midterms.
Right.
Other than, the Fed hike in this month. God, it's September 1st.
Right.
But I don't look at that to be, the higher end of the expectation range. I look at where it to be kind of like everybody's expecting 75 or 1, and it comes in at 50 bips. Just to keep a little juice in the flame, so to speak. What is Niblett saying?
He said, what signals would you use to switch away from yield farming toward token price growth investing?
Ooh.
Well, I mean, I don't try to bet on if we've hit the bottom or not, but everything that the folks in the know are talking about is a bottom in October. We still have people saying 13,000 for Bitcoin. And I think that's going to be the leading indicator for anything else you're yield farming. That said, you also have to kind of think, okay, exponentially, if I'm compounding tokens and we come out of this and you're willing to hold for a year or two, depending on what you're investing in, it may be something you don't worry about. You just keep stacking them. So, I don't know.
Yeah, I remember the guys that, well, first, Niblets, my premise is that I've done it only once or twice when I was just messing around, experimenting to see if I could pick like the highest yield sort of junk pools on QuickSwap and holding them there for an afternoon and then selling. And I did that like 5 or 6 times, and it was up, but I didn't hold those tokens. So to me, right, there's 2 things to think of. One, I don't like buy tokens because I see a yield opportunity in a farm. I buy tokens because of whatever analysis I can do on them in this, limited to what we have. And then I decide whether to hold them, spot in the wallet, or single stake them, or liquidity pool them at that point. So to me, there's never really a decision of pulling out of yield farming and going to a particular token. I can't remember the exact question. Like a price growth.
What's the signal that gets you out? Yeah.
I sort of
get you in.
Yeah, I sort of expect the one that I'm investing in to go up already. So I'm not switching back and forth unless it's something like, we talk about yield farming. Are you with the stable paired, or are you paired with ETH, or are you paired with something else, or BTC, or something else completely? And that has different, with impermanent loss, that has different considerations. But, no matter what I would decide to do at that point, I always do that, 25% rule. And whatever move I say, okay, I've got, let's just do round numbers. Say you got, 10 grand to invest, and you believe in ETH. I come in with the first tranche at 25% and wait a little while. And if it starts tracking up, I usually don't come in again. Look at the Luna stuff right now. Every day it's up 70%, 60%, but I'm not buying anymore. Right. Because I think their ability to execute on this is about 1 in 100, but I think it's going to take about 60 days for everybody to figure that out.
Yeah.
So there's some enthusiasts, so I ride it. It's a junk token to me. It's not, maybe it's a lottery ticket token, but it's not one that I would pick to invest in at this point.
Right.
But if I'm looking at, say, a Phantom, a Matic, Polkadot, Chainlink, Avalanche, stuff like that quality, near, just go down the list, then Anchor. Another one I kind of like is Acropolis, or if I'm looking to go back and Define or any of those types, I'm always going to do that 25% rule.
Right.
So
no, it makes sense.
There's no like abrupt on-off switch. It's always going to be a transition going in. For me.
Makes sense. Yeah, I like that.
I don't know. What do you do, Brad?
Yeah, I am
buy high, sell low.
Yeah, that's my strategy. No, look, I'm currently heavy on stables. Went to the sideline a while back. I am staking a few things. I'm still fucking around with Canto and having a blast over there.
Yeah, that's
up
great.
To 80,
that's smart.
85 million TVL, but I kind of treat that as like, this is kind of a game. And I think the bones are good. And I think this is a thing that, if I stack up enough of the native token and 3 years from now, that's a leading chain, then I'm a happy camper. In terms of other thing, I still have staking for Phantom. I have Ethereum staking. I dumped out some, but for the most part, I just feel like these things have legs. And so if I'm earning more of it and I get through this bottom cycle and watch it rise back up, I'm good. And then maybe I double down and buy more. So I'm not doing a lot of paired yield farming or anything like that right now. And that's just because I don't want to get stuck. I don't want to get caught. So
I'm in one of those, and it's the Spirit one. But only because I remembered because the price is so low, number one, but I remember all the guys in Doki Doki that really cleaned up. Yeah. I mean, you know the one I'm thinking on in particular. Name begins with Doki something. And he just stuck it in the yield farming when it opened up at, I don't know, like 700 and then went down to like 10 cents or something, because of the way it wasn't because it tanked, it was because of the way the launch was done. Right. It was calculated to do that. And then he jumped in then and yield farmed and just held it for like a year. And I'm telling you, that turned into some serious friggin' money. Yeah. I mean, tens of millions. So to me, I'm like, something like that makes sense. Just put it in and forget about it. But, it has to be like you said, Brad, these like new kind of virgin tokens that you're just parking and forgetting and hoping they execute. Yeah. And that's it. And then forgetting about it. We can't be like where, you're not going to trade those. It's just not worth the time and effort. And you're not going to chase yield these days, yield farms, and go buy tokens to do it, because any tokens, well, we all know that there's a pretty decent quality filter there as you go down the list. But I think anything you see out there is you want to find the ones like Brad found, like Kanto, where they're not leading with token, they're leading with product.
I will tell you this. I just interviewed the Spirit Swap guys about their version 2, and I did not understand completely the whole flywheel of their version 2 system. And they have built a system that provides incentives for protocols to bribe, for the bribed to stake in Spirit. And the feed through their entire system is really powerful. Like the kind of thing that you may just want to put a little piece in over there, play, take some bribes, earn some more tokens. If you think that, I personally have a shit ton of respect for those guys. Like just a brilliant crew, brilliant group. I've met with them 4 times now, and everything I see about what they're trying to do, I like, and what they're building and how they're building on it. They're moving to full decentralization. They're, just doing all the right things, and they're enthusiastic about continuing to really build hard on their platform. They're going to start doing some cross-chain stuff. So I'm actually been thinking a lot since I interviewed them the other day about just hopping in there, getting used and playing with this. I've never done the bribe stuff. I've never played with the curve or any of that. And so I thought this is a good place to play. I trust the team. I trust the product. I think it's strong, and it's an opportunity to play with it. So I may treat that like a Kanto, where I love the product. I think it has like this kind of earning capability that the longer term play for this is bigger, and, stack up some tokens, lock them up for a year in their system and earn extra money on the bribes and the earnings, and just keep feeding it and see what happens. So,
look, this is, look, we've talked about this before with Phantom, and I think that there's the opportunity for a DEX, a lending platform as well, DEX combo, to have Phantom as the home base, and then go cross-chain across all the other chains, just because the transaction fees are so low, and it's so fast. And so to me, I'm like, that's what I like about Spirit Swap is, and their Spooky Swap is there. Spooky Swap, I think, has 16% of the TVL on Phantom or somewhere around there. Spirit's less, but Spirit's more innovative, and Spirit's got a better brand and a better look and feel for my taste.
Their new version, their new interface is really sweet, and it's really fast. Really, it is fast.
Cool. And so for a penny, really nice. I mean, I was trading in and out of that at 37 cents. I think I got up to or something. You throw some money in. I'm not single staking for the year like you're talking about, because there were higher yields in the yield farms, and I just don't really care about impermanent loss when one is a penny and the other is 30 cents. It doesn't matter. But I pair with Phantom. So I always think that has a very big potential future across all the platforms. Being, because we look at things like, I think Kava's doing really well over on Atom. Sift chain is a number 2 one over there, and it's also a chain. They're trying to do the same thing. Define is trying to do the same thing, I think, with Router. Everybody, that's kind of the holy grail. And I think Spirit Swap has just a good shot at it as any of these other ones to do it.
And I definitely think they have a lot of potential if they'll start doing some cross-chain stuff as well.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens.
That's the main thing. That's the big thing to me, is whoever does that first from Phantom is going to gather a lot of market share fast. Yeah.
I've had some conversations with them and some others in the Phantom space, and they really want to see a different approach from the foundation in terms of biz dev and marketing, because they know they have the tech, right? They know they have superior, the chain itself is amazing. It's fast, it's inexpensive. It's got great tech underlying it. So I think their frustration is really in how aggressively the chain is out there building and making deals and growing. So anyway, we'll see what happens.
I think that's, look, I mean, we talk about it a lot. Other groups like Avalanche get all the press. Arbitrum, Polygon, of course, but Polygon deserves it.
Right.
But Phantom Phantom to me is like, after Ethereum, I'm not going to put Binance Smart Chain in there, but after Ethereum, Phantom to me is the best player out there after that for with the most potential, because the bones are good, the foundation is awesome, and they have the ability to really execute on these models in ways that aren't cost prohibitive. These trades, et cetera, the lending, et cetera. So to me, I really like that, but I could see, there needs to be some bigger deals here. I mean, Polygon's going out and just slaying it, knocking down acquisitions. I don't see that kind of a approach there. A systemized GE style M&A, source, target, close, integrate.
Yeah.
They need that.
And then deals to just get people onto the chain. Like, don't hesitate, keep the rewards going. At the same time the market was crashing, they killed their rewards for all the existing people that were on the chain. And it was like, well, what's that doing for you? Right. You're going to cut off the flow of revenue. So anyway,
but they do need to do that. Who do we know over there? We know the marketing guys. That's right.
Yeah. Simone.
Yeah.
So
we should talk to him about that.
Yeah, definitely. The Verge did another piece on Justin Sun. And
he's still around?
Yeah. So
he's jealous.
These links will definitely be in the show notes, because this is a piece you got to read about what he has done and what he does to, number one, skip around the world, avoiding the regulators who all are hot on his heels. But this was interviews with, I think it was 15 current and former employees, as well as previous interviews the reporter had done with 18 people that had worked for him or knew him. And to start off with, from the very beginning, they have had a team in Beijing who they call the market making team. And the accusations in this article are that they are nothing more than a pump and dump team who have aligned themselves up with whales, and they are constantly working to pump Tron's price. Every time there's an announcement coming for Tron, they do a pump scheme and inflate the price to make everybody feel in the community like, the big announcement came and everyone loves Tron, right? He bought Polynex from Circle, right? And was using that as well for those schemes. But he also, there was a history of users on that exchange who had sent Bitcoin or other currencies by mistake to Tether wallets on the exchange. So he had a group of the developers go in, and which belongs to, all of this money belongs to the people who are users on the exchange, right? It was their money. They just lost it because they couldn't get it back. Went in and pulled out all of that dust, all of those dust tokens, and pocketed in his own wallet $10 million worth of the customers' revenue that was in the attached to the Tether wallet in some way. So, and then the rest of the article is about him trying to set up bank accounts all over the world. That they intimate that he bought himself a Malta citizenship, and that's his last resort for going there. His parents are there. He evidently made nice somehow with the Chinese government and has gotten back in good graces there in some way. And he has had employees do things like sending Google Find Fi phones to top level people in the Chinese government as gifts and other nefarious things to make it so that he doesn't immediately get arrested in China.
Is his phone number in there on speed dial 1?
Yeah, probably. When they bought BitTorrent, he went in and bought that for 140 million.
I remember that, yeah.
And he then shipped all of the executives to China for a meeting, and then went in and told them that
fired.
Well, that they were going to be they didn't fire him, but they were going to be his generals, and he was Mao.
Oh my God!
And some guy in the meeting said, and some guy in the meeting stepped up and said, "But didn't all of Mao's generals get killed?" He said, "Yes, they did." And
usually
then
after great success.
Yeah. Then he hired a guy from the SEC, an enforcement guy from the SEC, hired him away from the SEC, and told him he was going to get to revamp all their compliance and get them in, good shape, blah, blah, blah. And then after the guy signed the contract, he basically told him to fucking lie, write opinions saying he was, he was an attorney, the guy, write opinions and do all of this nefarious shit. And so the guy walked like a month later. Was like, fuck you, I'm out of here. And so he'd given up his career at the SEC to work for this guy. Anyway, it's a really good piece. I highly recommend everybody read it. But this guy's such a sleazebag. I mean,
I thought it was interesting when you had that one page up. I forgot about how he and CZ are or were close.
So
close. Yeah,
right. So, and this kind of bothers me because evidently CZ. Before they knew each other before the Tron ICO, and CZ had some inside information that China was about to ban ICOs. So he changed the date of the ICO to the day before they were going to ban it. And because CZ gave him a heads up. And then CZ has since said, we're not friends. We're just done business together. But they say in this article that he and CZ actually spent like a vacation together.
Oh,
so, I don't know the whole story. It seems strange to me that, with the way CZ runs his business that, he and Justin would be pals, but, I guess you never know.
My read is that, look, 5-6 years ago, Tron's getting ready to do the ICO. Hell yeah, they're pals. Because you're going to want to make money off the token on Binance.
Exactly.
But now, Sun's only worth what, 4 or 5 billion, and CZ's worth what, like 100?
Oh yeah.
I think CZ's kind of moved on from.
Probably so. Probably so.
What
the other thing is he has at least 4 or 5 passports and citizenships in multiple countries now. He's Guinea, Malta. Whatever that South American country was. I mean, he's,
which one? Uruguay?
Remember the one he became the ambassador to the World Trade Organization.
Oh, Chile, country. Maybe, right? Chile?
No.
Bolivia.
No, hold on. Let me find it. Oh, I'll find it. Hold
on. Yeah. I'm surprised I didn't hear Nevis in there.
Grenada. He's their ambassador to the World Trade Organization.
Yeah,
and he told all his employees to call him His Excellency.
Oh, I love that. Yeah, that's like PhDs. I mean, somebody was saying something to me about that. I've never called a PhD doctor in my life. I don't even call doctors doctors.
Oh, I did in college when they wanted you to call him.
Oh yeah, professor. Yeah. Oh, of course. Oh yes, Doctor so and so.
Yeah,
because you're gunning for participation points.
Brown nose.
Yeah.
BNB chain launched liquid staking. So people can now don't have to be a full validator to do the staking and earn BNB chain, BNB tokens. And evidently they're launching other products around it. But I haven't dug deep enough into that to know. Crypto.com.
Speaking of CZ real quick, I saw something yesterday, and you probably know more about this than I do, that supposedly he's gotten approval now to operate and locate Binance in Kazakhstan. Have you heard about that?
I saw Kazakhstan licensing. Yeah, they got a license. I don't know if it means they can operate the whole thing there, but they do have a license to operate there. I saw that.
Okay. Yeah, I was just curious. Sorry to cut in.
Yeah. Crypto.com accidentally transferred $10.5 million to an Australian woman and didn't notice it for 7 months. And then she bought a piece of property with the money. And of course, didn't have enough sense to take the 10 million and get the fuck out of the country and go to Malta.
Or at least put it in some high yield bearing fund on the in crypto and turn it into 100 million.
Yeah, stake that shit and then give them back their 10 million, right? Like, 7 months, you could earn a couple of million at least.
We could stake it in crypto. What's the crypto.com?
Yes, we stake it back on crypto.com.
Yeah, exactly. Oh yeah, I noticed that, but I've kept it safe for you.
Yeah.
Here, what is that?
Set up your husband's account. Exactly.
And what about a finder's fee for me returning it?
Of course, crypto.com is suing the shit out of her, froze her bank account, et cetera, et cetera. So, what are you going to do? This new chain, Sai, I guess is how you pronounce it, raised $5 million led by Multicoin, but it's a layer 1 blockchain and they call it optimized for DeFi. And this is actually, there's some similarities here to what Canto is trying to do in terms of building in an order matching engine into the layer 1. So they have made it so that it's they claim the fastest blockchain available, and that the DeFi components are built into the core of the engine, but they're utilizing an order book model on it. So I found this really interesting. There are 20 dApps currently being built onto the ecosystem. I don't know a ton more into that about it, except that.
Scroll back up for a second. I saw something about right there. What is that? Most layer one barrel exchange app specific chains. Okay, I was just trying to see what they're saying about DYDX.
Yeah. Fastest finality 600 milliseconds. So they're saying that you can have a normal kind of order book model, right? Because it's so fast. You can try it, but of course you then have to have the level of trading happening to make it worth it. But interesting, and I definitely want to take a look at it and see what else is going on over there.
Well, yeah, that's another one like Canto where you come in. I mean, this is backed by everybody. Probably the easy tokens are the cheap stuff's already gone. Yeah, but there's still going to be some there. And these guys, they have to have liquidity events. The VCs have to have the token price go up. Yeah. So this is kind of interesting, but I don't get why, like you said. I mean, I guess it's kind of like when I think of Phantom, and I think of it like the Spirit Swap thing about how it could be the hub for DeFi because it's so fast and cheap. Now someone's really designing a layer 1 just optimized just for that. Yeah.
Look at these investors.
Yeah,
Sam Kazmian from Frax, Gabby Dizone from Yield Guild, Delphi Digital's in, Coinbase Ventures is in. Oh, Xerox Maki, former sushi head. Yeah. This is really interesting. I mean, that's some pretty significant.
Definitely want to stay on top of.
What's interesting is the size of the raise. That's such a small raise for a layer 1 chain.
I know, and with all those people, Coinbase Ventures, Casimir, and everybody else. I mean, what are they all doing? Throwing in 50
grand? Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's strange. I do find the size of the race. Maybe everybody's just kind of hedging their bets and saying, "Fuck it, we'll get the pump on the launch," and then if it goes, cool. If it doesn't, it's interesting.
I mean, I just didn't think that they went down that small on these deals.
No, evidently they do.
So, but yeah, you get a lot more distribution than later. Okay, so Coinbase Ventures in there. So you see what, these guys are, what's it, SEI? They're like, they're going to build their thing. And then Coinbase Ventures is like, well, let's just stay around here and see what these guys are doing.
Exactly.
Just in case we want to pull it in, or we want to, innovate some shit that we think about because of what we see there. There's lots of stuff. But that's cool. Is this the same one?
This is their website. Decentralized NASDAQ, 18,000 orders per second. The other thing I read out of that article is that it looks like they may be positioning as this a TradFi connection play to give TradFi DeFi capabilities. But, so maybe there'll be a whole compliance game there or something. I don't know. General purpose.
Because you see, who's our buddy, our friend, what's the name of the company that Bob Guzman's at now?
Can't remember the name.
He was the BlackRock guy.
Yeah,
who I teed you up with a couple of times on. And he's at a new one that's kind of doing institutional facing. Oh shit, I'm on LinkedIn right here.
Yeah, look at this. The infrastructure, unlike every other layer one, order matching is built into sidechain, making the infrastructure scalable to the billions of users on traditional financial rails. So maybe they're going to make a play for tokenized. They're going to make a play for TradFi. And it makes sense that Coinbase would be in there, obviously, for that, right? Because if they can build out a platform that can be utilized, replace NASDAQ, replace whatever, because it's built in at the core level and it's that fast, that may be the whole play here. Front running proof. It's interesting. Oh, the other thing I think was that it uses assembly to build, I think was what I saw. Let me see the docs. Anyway, so that's interesting. I'll read some more on it. Update you later. This is a cool tool. I'll put a link to it. But this tool called Goku Stats tracks all dev activity on the major chains. So you can kind of see, the number of projects underneath them and those ecosystems and their dev activity, the number of repos, the weekly commits, if they're increasing in activity or decreasing in activity, et cetera. So, and it's not just chains. Gitcoin Grants is in here. But you can see who's building the most, who's most active, who's cranking out new code, who's developing on there, mostly on these chains. So I thought this was really interesting.
That is cool.
And, so if you're looking at a potential chain, a blockchain that you think you might want to, invest in, then this can give you some indication on whether or not it's active. People are actively building on it. So, oh, Joe, you posted this. So you want to talk about this one? Top coins in 2017 bubble versus today?
Yeah, I just thought it was funny because, oops, hold on.
Well, that's an unfortunate.
You guys got me?
Up. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's like if I switch the window on the phone to look at a LinkedIn notice, it stops the stream. But you can hear me now, right?
Yep.
Okay, so my thoughts here were just, it was kind of interesting to look at what was there at the peak. So this would, I guess, be December 17. And then where are the ones that survive where they are? And then what's there now? Or what was January of this year, not
right
now. And so, look at all, I didn't realize Bitcoin Cash was at number 4.
Oh yeah. It was huge. Remember that? Oh my God. That whole thing was so insane, man. Well, cause they were scamming. Listen, everybody, they timed it so that when the bull run was, when it was hot and heavy for bull run and everybody, all the newbies were coming in, they positioned themselves as Bitcoin. So they fooled a ton of people into buying Bitcoin Cash, thinking they were buying Bitcoin. And so that's why they had the market cap they had, because there was nothing else of value there.
Now, and like I'm looking at number 6 back then, XEM. I don't even remember that one.
Oh yeah, NEM. They just last year, remember, they tried to save themselves because they were running out of money, and they launched another token trying to be in DeFi. Yeah, no, totally. Totally. Yeah.
But look at all those names up there.
Yeah.
And so look, Cardano. I mean, we see they're just kind of hanging on. I mean, they're number 5 still. So I guess, well, that was January, but I think it's lower now, but I think they're like in the 10s. But Ripple, and there's
Let's look.
Terra from earlier this year.
I gotta look. So BTC ETH. Oh wait, this doesn't have. Where is it?
Market cap.
Doesn't have stables in it. Look at that Shiba Inu.
Yeah.
Dogecoin, Avalanche. Yeah, it's crazy.
But so all of those on the left, I mean, look, Tron, Stellar, IOTA or MyOTA. I remember I was in that Dash.
Oh yeah, Internet of Things.
Yeah.
Oh, Dash. Yeah, Masternodes.
Remember? Yeah, and then they got in trouble for something in one of those raises or something, and then they had to. And then they started fading. EOS, we talk about. Draper's one. Monero, is still around, but that's another like pure algorithm, I guess is the way to put it. I think Sean would say that, right?
Yeah, look, I mean, here's the bottom line. Everything that's moved up is DeFi based. Everything that moved down isn't.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like everything that climbed up in this world is oriented to Uniswap. Right?
It's all layer ones, or it's cross-chain stuff, or it's DeFi protocols. And a couple of meme coins, yeah. But
yeah.
But look at all those layer ones that aren't there or weren't there.
Yeah, it's amazing.
So
Absolutely
I just think it's so. My point here, everyone, is that we rag on Cardano and Tron and those all the time, but 5 years later, like what I'm getting at is if they go down like the Terra Luna example, if it goes down to like 5 zeros and a 1, 0.5 zeros and a 1 or something like that, odds are it's still going to be around in 3 or 4 years. So, look, I dumped tons of Cardano and Stellar and Tron at rock bottom prices and never expected it to come back. Right. And, we know Cardano got to what, $2 and, I think Stellar was at $1. They all cranked. And I mean, I was dumping that shit in like less than 20 cents a piece kind of thing. So, I kicked myself for that one. But, this is why you want to kind of pick up some of these dogs now in the hope that, they'll hang around. So what I would do is look at that list of those top 100s and just look at the ones that are performing the worst right now, sorted on coin market cap. And then, look for some potential juicy targets for some long-term holding.
Makes sense. I like it.
But look, right now, the stuff that I like that isn't, I mean, I guess it's still up. Look, 1 inch I was looking at, that's like 67 cents. Uni I like, sushi I like for those types of things. TVL to price ratio type stuff. Polkadot we like. I mean, I like just about on the right side of the board. I mean, not even counting the top 3 because we all know we like those. But, going down that list, Dot, maybe Avalanche, Polygon, Uni. I don't like Algorand like Brad does. Chainlink.
I like the tech. I don't like the project.
Yeah. But those are the ones that I like on that top 20 side that I look at being long-term plays.
I would go Bitcoin, Ethereum, Binance, BNB, no Solana, no Cardano, no Ripple. Obviously, Terra Luna, no. Polkadot has potential. I don't know enough. Avalanche, yes. Dogecoin, sadly, I think it's going to be around. I think it's going to be around. Shiba Inu, that'll die off, I think. Polygon, definitely. Crypto.com, they got the marketing muscle, and they have surpassed Phantom on the chains. So you got to give them some credit. WBTC.
But there's so many other choices other than them. Is my thing, so.
WBTC is very dangerous. Centralized. You buy your WBTC and anything happens to that company that controls it, you're fucked. So
why would you buy that versus just buying BTC?
So you can use it on DeFi.
Right, but you said that the thing was don't hold it.
The problem, because the problem with it is, it's used a shit ton, obviously, and I think it may even be higher.
Yeah, because I've used it a lot. That's why I was curious why you felt.
Yeah, but there's like one point of failure. Regulators or technical problems, you could end up not getting anything for your WBTC. Uniswap, definitely. Algorand, great tech, but horribly run. Litecoin, they keep hanging around and hammering, and they have a dedicated community. They have no functionality different than Bitcoin, except it's faster. You know, I don't know. I wouldn't put any effort in it. Chainlink definitely, but we need more. We need like 10 more strong Oracle providers. I think I've got an interview with a new one that's launching next week.
What's it called?
I will tell you. 1 second. Let me find it.
Because yeah, that's a great point.
Yeah. Let me see. I will tell you right now the name if I can find this.
Because that's good. That's a good place to invest in.
Supra Oracles. I'm interviewing the CEO. Supra, S-U-P-R-A, as in Toyota Supra, Celica Supra.
Yep.
Oracles, Supra Oracles. I'm interviewing the founder, Joshua Tobkin, CEO. They have a different model. They have more decentralization. They make a lot of good claims, and we'll see. We're gonna get into it and see what they're offering.
Well, you know, look, if you're going to get to where, you know, this wherever it ends up a decentralization way, if it's, you know, to the device, to, you know, I don't know, massively distributed, wherever way that goes, you need Oracle redundancy out there. And people that can provide Oracle data faster than the others. The competition's all on the time of the data.
Yep.
So we need that robustness there in order to get the institutional uptake that we, you know, want if we want exit liquidity from the banks, because they are going to have to be. We're probably looking at 5 different sources of pricing data.
Yeah.
To be, you know, because if they're running with any kind of endowment or pension money at all, they're going to have to be doing that. So I think this is a really good, I didn't even think of this. This is a great point, Brad, but this is a real good segment or vertical for us to horizontal for us to take a look at.
Absolutely. You know? Totally agree. Speaking of Dogecoin, so last week there was a lot of hullabaloo about Doge Chain, and it has no official link to the Dogecoin Foundation, but it is actually a side chain for Doge. Like, they built a layer 2 or a side chain to Doge. Now, the guy Edgy from DeFi Edge did a piece on it, talked about, you know, how it could make it interesting, et cetera, et cetera. But he said to stay away from it. And his reasons for it is, number one, the community isn't supporting it. Number two, Dogecoin co-founder rejected an offer to promote it. That's, to me, I'm glad they rejected it. I mean, and number three, the developer's wallet for Doge Chain has been caught dumping tokens. That, to me, is kind of the big red flag, right? The rest of the shit is, you know, a little sketchy. But here's the interesting thing, though. Like, if you can take a coin that is loved by retail investors, right, and you can start building DeFi functionality around it, whether or not it's supported by the chain or the foundation, whether or not it's you know, sanctioned and part of the whole community, there is a strong chance of, you know, building a really strong model. And so I don't know. I would keep an eye on it. I mean, here's the chart. DC is the token.
Yeah, I mean, it's up 108 as of 7:37 this morning. It's up 118% over 7 day. Right. It's off a little bit the last 24 hours. But you know what's interesting to me, real quick, is that the trading volume is higher than the market cap. So that's trading volume is 21.5 million, and market cap is around 14 million.
Wow.
But to your point, Brad, look, we talk about this with Doge and Shiba a bit, is that the size of the communities they have.
Right.
You know, if you got a community unified around a brand or a concept, you just got to bolt on the tech basically at that point. Yeah. That makes them want to do something. Everybody else is building the awesome tech and then trying to bring in a community. I mean, to me, it's like if you could unleash something like Canto within a community like this that would be friggin' cool.
Well, and I think this is a really smart play. I mean, I don't know the capabilities yet of the chain and what it's possible to do, but they're certainly going along with the whole Dogecoin branding. You know, I gotta say, it could become very attractive to people to be able to run DeFi applications on top of Doge, and you have this mass group of people that love the product so already and are holding Doge. Anyway, it's interesting.
Maybe that's good for Polydoge.
Yeah.
I mean, if we can get Brad and his white boy rapper thing on the hood of the Lambo with the two Asian girls, I mean, that kind of thing on the DC chain sounds about perfect.
Yeah. Definitely. It's very interesting.
Reacting.
No, I'm not.
Well, I only have 7.5 billion of them, so
there you go. Anyway, very interesting. I'm going to keep an eye on this. You know, this is another one of those you you put $500 in, you see what the fuck happens, right? And take your profit.
I don't know, man. I mean, I agree, it's a play.
Yeah,
but I just hate those meme coins, dude.
You posted this up.
Yeah.
Wife of arrested Tornado Cash dev is forbidden to speak with him. I think we talked about it briefly yesterday, but that's just fucking beautiful.
You know, you talked a lot about Tornado Cash, and I don't know, maybe it's that they're afraid he's going to communicate a seed phrase to her or something like that, or move money or something. I mean, it just seems kind of peculiar to be able to block.
Well, it also seems peculiar for the Dutch authorities to be doing that. That's not a country that I see as restrictive like that. They seem to be fairly enlightened when it comes to the justice system.
Well, I guess, let's see.
August 12th. So he's been there for 18, 19 days and not able to talk to his wife.
Well, they might have him on some sealed charges that we don't know about. Like there might be more with the North Koreans than we see.
Well, there was an allegation that he worked for a company that what's Russia's
FSB.
That he worked for a company that was a contractor to FSB.
Hmm.
And so they're intimating that there may be some other
that's problematic
shit
then.
there. Yeah.
Well, look,
but
it
had nothing to do with Tornado Cash, and it was previous. It has nothing to do with Tornado Cash, and he doesn't work for them now, I don't think. I think it was just that he had at one point worked for a company. So,
well, a lot of those European countries, have these detention policies where I think like the UK even, you can hold someone for 72 hours before you even have to report it.
Yeah.
So, basically you're getting talked to, I guess is the way to put it, or getting the shit kicked out of you.
I mean, but here's the whole thing. Like, okay, are you going to arrest the Apache web server developers because criminal activity happens on that web server software?
I agree with all your arguments. I just got to be more to this than we see that's being held out. Because it just makes no sense to me why you would, there's something they're trying to get out of this guy, or they're learning about or something, and they're keeping away from her. Maybe she's part of the network. I don't know. But it just seems there's a lot more there than I think we know in this Tornado Cash story. And
maybe so.
And I feel sorry for the developers, like you said, but I also don't know this developer.
Right. Of course.
So, but I thought it was something interesting, and you know this topic better than I. So I thought I'd throw it up, but
yeah, it's interesting. All right, let's wrap it up, Joe.
Didn't I have one more in there somewhere?
Yeah.
CDBC. Are we saving that one?
Save it for tomorrow.
Yeah, cool.
Unless you really want to get it out.
What was it?
You had a CDBC something.
Oh yeah, no, let's talk about that. I was gonna. Yeah, I talked about that in the preamble. What?
A survey of a venture capital firm did a survey of crypto startups founder compensation. Early stage companies, 175,000 annually, 130 to 160,000 representing the top of the bell curve. Later stage, 175 to 225,000. Non-token equity, 80% owned by founders in early stages, diluted 20 to 50% in later rounds. Non-founder executive compensation, 120 to 160,000. Later stage companies, 225,000. Non-token equity, 1 to 4%. Early stage, 1 to 2%. Latter stage, token equity, 0.5 to 1%.
Hey, send me that link, please.
I will. No problem, sir.
No, that's good for my financial modeling stuff.
Yeah. Okay.
Because I'm kind of getting to where people want to get paid more.
Yes.
It's like we used to have this bar where I used to live at Palm Bay Yacht Club, And there was an old tennis pro and there was an old bartender. They were from like the heyday years and the Miami Vice days and all of that.
Yeah.
And they were like 70, but they just charged, like, drinks were $2 and tennis pro sessions were like $30. And I always kind of teased them. I said, dude, you're stuck in 1970s pricing, but we'll take it. So I'm trying to be, with me, I always push hard on what I charge because I don't want to fall into that same trap.
Yeah, absolutely. Totally
where,
get it.
20 grand a month sounds about right to me for a CEO of a startup, but it seems like it might be more or it might be less. So
Shizzy said Elon will get bored of Doge soon, then it will die. I actually disagree. And the reason I disagree is because Doge was pumping along and pumping and dumping long before Elon came along and adopted it. So I actually think, and here's the thing, once people get engaged in the Doge community, they actually love kind of the fun, lighthearted nature of that community. And so even though Elon may give up on it, I don't think Doge is going to die anytime soon, but that's just my opinion. But it's been around for, when did Doge start? I wonder.
I remember it being a lot of buzz on it in 1817, or not 1870, but 2018, 2017 time period, because everybody was joking that it was created as the joke coin.
Right.
And so everybody was talking about it in the press. But I don't know when it was.
It's been around since at least 2014.
Damn.
Yeah. It's been around for a long time and has experienced ups and downs along the way. So.
Do we know how many people are holding it? Like how many wallets are holding?
I'm
just curious about rough participants in there. Or do we have anything about community size? Is there another metric we look at?
I'm sure there is, but I don't know. We could probably do. There's probably a block explorer for Dogecoin that'll tell you how many wallets. But anyway,
awesome.
All right, dude. Everybody, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate you. We love you, Shizzy and Niblets. Thanks for taking part and participating today. Please, if you get a chance, go over to Spotify or Apple Podcasts and give us a rating and a review. It really helps us if you enjoy the show. If you don't enjoy the show, call Joe.
What's my phone number again? Hold on.
If you have any feedback,
305 Brad Nickel.
If you have any feedback, thoughts, comments, ideas for guests, please don't hesitate to reach out. B05 Crypto on Twitter and Telegram, B05 Crypto #2143 on Discord. We love you. We appreciate you. We'll see you tomorrow. Joe, have a great afternoon.
Hey, you too, buddy. And I will, thanks everybody for listening. What did it say, Thursday? Yeah, okay. So see you Friday heading into the Labor Day weekend. But, to me, it's like.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Yeah.
We have a long weekend. All right.
Yeah. So, our call is scheduled on Labor Day, right? The Monday one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. I don't care, but I just want to make sure you guys are aware of that.
I'm good with it.
No, look, this should be, to me, there's not a lot of big moves to be made. I would just do a few looks around today, tomorrow, and forget about this shit over the weekend. Have some fun.
Sounds good, bud.
So I'll talk to you later, and I'll see you tomorrow. And everyone, you have a great day, and I'll see everyone tomorrow. We're talking.
Take care, everybody.
Bye-bye.